Do you have little space like a windowsill or small balcony which only gets few hours of direct sunlight? And you also don't have any prior experience of gardening but you still want to grow your own vegetables? There is only one solution of this: grow microgreens. They are very easy, convenient and fast to grow, very low maintenance. They don't require any fertilizer or pesticide, fungicide or any fancy equipments. They can be grown any time of the year, and along with all this, microgreens are packed with nutrients like potassium, iron, zinc, copper, magnesium. Also contains higher amount of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants which are very beneficial for your health and also add an aromatic flavor to your food content. This video is all about those microgreens. What are these, which varieties to grow and how to grow easily at your home. Welcome back to the channel Grow and More. Today we will discuss everything you need to know about microgreens. Microgreens are the baby plants when the first leaves have developed. These first leaves are also known as cotyledon leaves. This is just after the sprouting. Depending on the varieties, they range in size from 1 to 3 inches long, including the stem and the leaves. They are usually harvested very soon after the sprouting and can be eaten as the baby leaves along with the stem, maybe sometimes with just one set of partially developed true leaves. They are excellent choice for garnishing soups, salads, sandwiches and various other dishes. Due to their nutritional values, they are gaining more popularity nowadays, which makes them a good addition to any diet. Once we understand what the microgreens are, there are a couple of questions come into our mind. Firstly, can any vegetable seedlings be eaten as microgreens? The answer is no. Although there are tons of vegetables which can be grown as microgreens, some vegetables are not edible due to the toxic molecules inside of the central stem and leaves. For example, tomato, chili pepper, they are not safe to be consumed as microgreens. Then the next question that comes into our mind is that what type of plants we should choose to go as microgreens? You have tons of options for that. To name a few: cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, radish, lettuce, carrot, fennel, garlic, onion, amaranth, beet, spinach, cucumber, squash and many more. I have listed most of them here. You can pause the video and read it. Having so many options, you can now ask what should be our ideal choice among those. Well, in my opinion, we should choose those which can be grown very easily and quick so that we can harvest them within a week. We should also go with those whose seeds are much cheaper and also which taste better according to you. My top 5 picks will be radish, broccoli as they are among quickest to go, mustard, fennel due to their taste, and red cabbages due to their nutritional values. In fact, the microgreen red cabbage contains about 40 times more nutrients than the mature red cabbage. Now you might be wondering that do you need different seeds to grow microgreens? No, they are the exact same seeds from which you can grow those vegetables. Do not fall for those commercial sites who sell those same seeds but at higher cost labeled as microgreen special seeds. Let it be very clear, microgreen seeds are not different than their mature plant seeds. They are the exact same plants. We just harvest them when they are very young. So it's better to buy those from local vendors where you can get them at the cheapest price. Now how to grow them, and this is the best part about microgreens. They are very easy and convenient to grow. They can be grown in a very little space. They do not require much time, any special care or fertilizer. They can be grown any time of the year in both indoor and outdoors, in artificial grow light or even in very low sunlight. However, remember that if you can provide them proper 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight, it is best for them. But it's also okay if they only get 1 or 2 hours of direct sunlight. They will become little leggy, but it's fine. You can still eat them without any issue. All you need to grow them are good quality seeds, a container filled with potting medium or soil, little sunlight or grow light, and water. You can also grow them hydroponically without any soil. For the container, you can use any small to medium sized pot or small plastic cup or even any bowl. In fact, any container you have, preferably at least 2 to 3 inch deep. It doesn't need to have any drainage holes inside it. You just need to maintain the water in such scenario. I prefer to use these disposable aluminum foil containers. They are very cheap and easily available. And also you can reuse them several times. you can make some holes at the bottom for proper drainage. Again, do not fall for those fancy looking costly microgreen or seedling trays. Any 2 or 3 inch deep container will serve the purpose. For the potting medium, you can use any seed starter mix. You can even use only coco peat or only compost. Avoid using very hard or clay soils as they are not good for seed germination. Here I am using a mixture of coco peat, compost and perlite. And this soilless potting mix has been completely sterilized. There is a video in my channel about this seed starting mix. You can watch that from the I button above. The varieties I am growing here are spinach, amaranth and radish. For container, I am using these aluminum foil packets. You can make some drainage hole in the bottom if you want. It will help you in the watering of your microgreens. I'll show that later. The idea is to use as many seeds as you can in a same container. As we will harvest them at the very young stage, we don't bother about development of their roots, or we don't bother about the fact that each plant needs some space to grow individually. Rather, we want many seedlings in a little space for easy harvest, and also it will save us extra space. But according to me, they look absolutely beautiful when they grow together side by side in a single container. And that's why I try to sow the seeds very closely. Remember that you should always pre-moisten your potting mix before sowing the seeds. It will help the seeds to germinate evenly and also faster. You can also pre-soak the seeds before sowing it, like in case of spinach, for quicker germination. You can lightly cover the seeds with the same potting mix and spray some water so that the seeds remain properly moist. For smaller seeds, I usually don't cover them with the potting mix, but I just place a paper towel or tissue paper on top of it and spray the water on it. The paper is biodegradable and eventually will broken down into some organic matter. Almost all the seeds which can be grown as microgreens do not require any light to germinate. Rather, they require some darkness for quicker germination. So we cover those with the same aluminum foil container like this and keep those in some warm place. This is the update after about 24 hours. Spinaches are relatively slower to be germinated than the other two varieties. None of them has been sprouted. But in case of amaranth, you can see lots of these white tiny roots. Most of the seeds have started to germinate. In radish also, you can see many of them have been sprouted. They in fact take less than 24 hours to be germinated, and that's why the radish, amaranth or the cabbage family such as broccoli, kale, cauliflower, these are very good choices for growing as microgreens due to their fastest germinating seeds. We will still cover all these 3 seeds for a couple of days more. It has been 3 days since we started growing these microgreens. The radish and amaranth are growing beautifully. Most of the seeds have been germinated. But in case of spinach, very few of them just sprouted. Maybe if we had pre-soaked the spinach seeds for about 12 to 18 hours in water before sowing them, they could have been germinated little faster. Anyway, we have to wait little longer for the spinach to be germinated. And so we should keep the cover as it was before. Although most of the seeds of amaranth and radish have been germinated, we still cover those as well. The reason is that we actually want them to develop their stems more rather than focusing to produce more leaves. In other words, we want them to be little leggy, and that's why even your place lacks proper amount of sunlight that a mature plant needs, you can still grow microgreens very easily. This is the update of the very next day. In case of radish, you can see they are growing very quickly. The young seedlings become taller in search for the light. They produce this pattern as they are looking for more light, and for that they tend to lean outside the container. They also look little yellowish due to the lack of photosynthesis. But you don't need to worry about that, rather this is exactly what we need, a little longer stem. So from now on, I will leave them in a direct sunlight and they will look perfect. In case of amaranth, we also want those to become more taller, so we will still cover those for a couple of days more. Now, in case of spinach, as expected, they are all gradually starting to sprout, but they are little slower than the other two microgreens. Let me just quickly go through their developments for next couple of days. You can see how quickly and beautifully they can be grown without any proper care. You might need to water them sometimes if you see the potting medium become dry. So coming to the watering of your microgreens. If you use these types of containers with drainage holes at bottom, then it's very easy to water these containers. Maybe you can also see the white roots are coming out of those. I prefer not to pour water from top as it might disturb the roots of young seedlings. Rather, I always suggest to water from the bottom. Take any tray or something like this and place the containers inside it. Gradually pour some amount of water into the tray. The roots of the microgreens and also the potting medium eventually absorb the water they need. Repeat the process if needed. For the container without any drainage hole, you can also spray water, but you need to do that carefully without disturbing the plants. It's been exactly 7 days since we started the seeds, and this is the radish. They look absolutely beautiful. This is the amaranth. See those beautiful white roots. Although all these 3 varieties are ready to harvest, for spinach you can wait for a couple of more days if you want them to go little longer than this. It's now time to harvest our microgreens, and this is the good thing about them that it only takes 7 days from seed to harvest, or for some seeds even less than that. See those white good looking roots, no sign of fungal attacks or root diseases, and this is one of the benefits of using a good quality sterile potting mix. Take any sharp scissors or cutter and cut the seedlings from just above the soil line. Do not pull them out of the soil, instead cut the greens at the soil level and you are good to go. Very simple. A common question, do these microgreens regrow after cutting? Well, most of them don't, but there are some varieties which can be regrown and harvested several times. For example, some pea shoots and wheat grasses, they tend to regrow after harvesting. You just need to make sure that there is at least an inch of stem left when you cut them. How to eat these microgreens? You can add them to your regular salad, you can garnish soups with them, put them in your sandwiches, add those on top of pizza, pasta, omelette and other hot dishes. Even you can make juice out of them. Wheatgrass and broccoli microgreens are especially popular for making juice. So there it is, all you need to know about growing your own microgreens. Given that they are easy to grow at home, they are the most cost-effective way to boost your nutrient intake without buying much costlier, large quantities of vegetables. Microgreens are rapidly gaining popularity as a superfood in our kitchen garden. If you have any questions regarding microgreens, please feel free to ask those in the comment box below. I'll definitely try my best to answer those. That will be all for today. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time in a brand new episode at Grow and More.